It's so easy to become unorganized and not prioritize what you need to do in your day-to-day tasks because of all the distractions that are around you. You probably feel like your to-do list is stacking up quickly and nothing is actually getting done when you want it to, and you easily start to fall behind. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to overcome this problem and take you through 3 ways that have helped me manage my time better so you can too. Let's go. So step number 1 is time block in a calendar. Now, what you need to do is use a calendar like Google Calendar or any of the other digital tools to actually start to block out your times, your day-to-day tasks, and give yourself a rough understanding of how your day is going to look, what you want to actually allocate time to, what are the most important tasks that you need to spend a couple of hours on, for example, and actually visually put it out there on the calendar. And then give yourself set times to actually work on those specific tasks. Now, when you put things out there on the calendar, on a digital calendar, and you actually can visually see what you need to do for the day and for the week, and then you start to get notifications come through on your phone, on your laptop, and on all your other devices, those reminders will help reinforce what you need to do for the day and actually keep yourself responsible and almost make things a little bit more easy for you to understand how to structure your day, because you're getting constant reminders on these devices, and your calendar is constantly telling you and giving you that rough outline of what you need to do for the day. So what I like to do is every Sunday, I'll sit down, I'll work on my laptop, and I'll lay out what my next week will look like, and I'll put it all in my calendar. Now, of course, this is just going to be a rough outline. You're not actually going to get exactly everything you're going to be able to do, because I understand things come up, your weeks may change, day by day. But what I like to do is on that Sunday, when I'm sitting and working it all out, I will plan what my ideal week looks like. What are my most important tasks coming up, from Monday onwards, and make sure that there's enough time allocated throughout the days in my calendar. So that way, I'll schedule time for my client work. I'll obviously work around any meetings that I have as well, and I'll even put time aside for my content planning that I'm doing. So make sure you time block all the important tasks that you need to focus on for the week that's upcoming. Now, some tools that you can use is things like Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, and even more recently, Notion Calendar. So any of those 3 tools would be very good to start time blocking and working things out on an actual digital calendar to structure your weeks and be able to focus on set tasks and time block the right way. Now, the second way that you could actually start to manage your time better is using a manual timer. Now, what I've done is I've purchased one of these from Amazon, and what I do is I actually put in a 60-minute timer. You can change it however much you want. You can do 10, 20, 25 minutes. I'll put it at 60 minutes, and what I then do is I'll start the timer and I'll put it aside on my desk, and I will actually know, okay, I need to work now for 60 minutes. And every time I get distracted, or I reach for my phone, or I leave the office to go and do something, I will actually pause the timer, because that way when I return to do my work, I'll resume the timer, and when that 60 minutes has finished, I know that I've actually focused on 60 minutes of deep focused work, not just 60 minutes of a bit of work, a bit of distraction, and then time away from the task. No, we're using a manual timer like the one I've just showed you, like this one here, or you can do one on a digital timer on the laptop. But as long as you actually make sure you're tracking your work time and pausing it every time you're not working, then I know, for example, whenever one set of these 60 minutes has finished, I know, okay, I've spent 1 hour actually working and not being distracted. And sometimes it may take you more than that time, because obviously you've paused it, you've gone and done something and come back. But at least when that timer has finished, you've actually spent that certain time that you've set for yourself on an actual task and actually getting things done. So that's very, very important. It's very underrated. Not many people know to use this and to approach their task this way. So make sure you use a timer, set whatever minutes you think is best for you, whether it be 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and every time you stop your work or you get distracted or you have to do something, pause it. So when the timer is done, you actually spent that time on your work, on your tasks. And doing that also helps you mentally understand, okay, I'm going to set myself 60 minutes to complete this task. And that psychologically helps you make sure you get that task done because you've set yourself this timer. Now, the third thing that you can do to help manage your time better and ensure you actually get things done is put this away in another room. So this is hands down our biggest distraction. 99% of us find this to be the biggest distraction in our days. When we're working, when we're doing other things, we always tend to reach for our phones. So the best thing to do is to actually put it in another room if you can, while you're actually working on a task in your office or anywhere else that you do your work. Now, I used to personally just put it on Do Not Disturb and just put it on my desk, kind of in arm's reach. But what I noticed is I was still reaching for it too consistently and too regularly, where I still felt like it was a distraction. So what I now do is I put this in another room and I will work in my office. So that way, the best way, I guess, out of sight, out of mind, I know when I'm working in the office and my phone is in another room, that it's more effort for me to go up and go get my phone. The best thing to do with things that are distracting is to make it difficult for you to actually go and grab it, or to go and use it, or to go and watch whatever it is you want to do. So the best thing to do is to make it difficult for yourself and actually create more friction between you and the thing that's distracting you. So for me, what works is putting my phone in another room and then sitting in my office and working just on my laptop, and that's it. No phone inside, no nothing. And what I do is, referring back to the timer that I was just mentioning before, is every time I finish my 60 minutes, for example, that I set, I will then give myself a bit of a break, go and check my phone, check some notifications, reply to any messages, and then come back and then work on another set amount of time. So that is what works for me. And if you try that for yourself, if you're able to put your phone in another room, if you work from home or your office allows you to, definitely do that. Keep it out of arm's reach. Otherwise, you will consistently be going to go and get your phone. So that's the best advice I can give in terms of distraction of your phone and your devices around you, is to just put them out of sight in another room while you're working on that certain task that's the most important thing at the moment. So those are 3 tips that you can implement today to help manage your time better and ensure that you can get your to-do list done in a more efficient way. You can be more productive in your days, and like I said, you can just feel like you're getting more done throughout your weeks and for your work and for any personal tasks that you need to do. It's very important to manage your time well, and these 3 tips that I've given you will help improve your productivity. So definitely give them a go if you feel like you're not implementing that right now, or you feel like you're not as productive as you want to be. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please consider liking this video. I'd really appreciate it. And please consider subscribing to this channel so we can grow this community as much as possible, and I can continue to give you, productive tips and ways that you can improve your overall workflow and making things as simple as possible for you to understand to improve everything you need to do in your day-to-day tasks. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.